Remember when TV was a big deal? Well, if you weren't born yet, let me explain. Back then, people didn't have hundreds of channels and endless streaming services. They had 3 networks and a whole lot of patience. It was the pre-internet age, so once the sun went down, the options were limited. But that didn't mean the evenings were boring. Let's explore what life was like in the 1970s, when American families didn't have cable TV. Part 1. TV was a big deal. If you were an average American in the 70s, you probably only had 4 TV channels: ABC, CBS, NBC, and PBS. And depending on where you lived, the signal might cut out at the most dramatic moment. So if you missed your favorite show, The Love Boat, The Brady Bunch, or Sanford and Son, tough luck. There was no Netflix, Hulu, or DVR to save the day. And if a program wasn't on when it aired, you just didn't get to see it. Remember those old antennas that people used to have on their roofs? Yeah, they were called rabbit ear antennas. And if the TV reception wasn't good, my dad would go up on the roof to fiddle with them. Sometimes he would wrap aluminum foil around the antenna to help get a better signal. Anyway, because everyone watched the same channels and the same shows, it was easy to talk about the Watergate scandal or the latest episode of The $6 Million Man at school or work the next day. It was a way for people to connect over shared experiences. Part 2. How people got their signal. These days, millions of people stream movies and shows online or through apps on their TVs. But in the 1970s, the internet wasn't around to save the day. There was no YouTube and no Google. Heck, there was barely even a radio signal in some places. So getting a clear picture on your TV was a real challenge. If you wanted to watch the evening news, you had to tune in right at 6 o'clock, because there were only 3 major networks: ABC, CBS, and NBC. And the programming was pretty much the same, no matter what station you chose. They all covered the news, the weather, and sports. Plus they aired the same popular shows, like The Love Boat and The Bionic Woman. Part 3. Entertainment. Beyond TV. Before streaming and cable TV, people found other ways to keep themselves entertained. Families might gather together in the living room to play board games like Monopoly or Sorry, while the older kids might be out riding their bikes or playing kickball. The younger ones might be busy with hopscotch or jump rope. And when the weather was nice, people loved to go to drive-in theaters instead of going inside the theater. You could stay in your car and watch the movie on a giant screen while listening to the audio on your car radio. Eating popcorn and candy was easier than ever because you didn't have to get up and down from your seat. You could do it all from the comfort of your car. And if you got hungry, all you had to do was pop open the trunk and grab something from the back seat. Part 4. Family and social life. Sure, there were only a handful of TV channels, but that didn't mean people spent all their free time staring at the screen. It was common for families to sit down together for dinner and chat about their day. They talked about their plans for the weekend, their hopes and dreams for the future, or just complained about the state of the world. There were no phones or internet to distract them, so they could really focus on each other. And when the sun went down, the kids would pile into their family car and head over to a friend's house. They'd hang out on the sidewalk and play games until the streetlights turned on, signaling it was time to go home. Some families made Friday nights a special occasion. They'd order a pizza, pop open a bottle of soda, and snuggle up on the couch to watch The Love Boat or The Brady Bunch. After a long week of work and school, it was nice to end the week on a high note. Part 5. The power of limited choices. Not having hundreds of channels forced people to get creative with their entertainment. It encouraged them to read books, play board games, and explore the great outdoors. Because there were so few choices, the shows that did get made were often more memorable. Who doesn't remember the theme song of the Dukes of Hazzard or the laugh track of the Mary Tyler Moore Show? In today's world of streaming, it's hard for any one show to capture our attention. We're just too used to switching from one thing to another. But in the 1970s, people were forced to be more patient. They had to wait until their favorite show came on. And because of that, they developed a deeper appreciation for the shows they watched. It also helped create a sense of community. When everyone was talking about the latest episode of The Bionic Woman, you knew you were part of something bigger. Nowadays, with so many streaming services, it's easy to feel isolated. We all just too busy watching our favorite shows to pay attention to what's going on in the world around us. But back in the 70s, people made the best of what they had. They didn't have Netflix, but they did have each other. They didn't have cable, but they did have imagination. Now, it's your turn. What do you think? Would you rather have unlimited choices or just a few unforgettable ones? Share your thoughts below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more. See you soon.